It's Podraza. I'm not making any of this up. I'm going to say this calmly. Why am I called stupid here? If I mention I can cook, why is it that I'm denigrated and they're all hopped up on how talented they are? And that is said in a credit union where Bush magazine was there and Lavoie. Now, I am angry about this. My father and mother could cook. Minnie could cook. I could cook since age 20. They're emulating druggers and screwing themselves on Coke bottles here, way back with the John Beach era. I'm not for Barbara Judd Murphy, who said I couldn't cook anyway. I am not for that element there. Why would I be saying yes to what took place, that why my mother decided to stay here? Due to Rita and Henry not being able to go to a Catholic church where my grandmother raised her children, why is it that you feel I should be exonerated? When that's going on here, and my son is being told off, well, what went on there that you think my son should have been told off, and what was going on at Deer Run Trail? Wait a minute. Why do you think you should have been called? I don't understand that anyway. I am not insane. And there was no way to have this apartment or any money or all of that. I'd have been out in the street in Connecticut also without being employed. I don't want you putting me through any dating service at all. I don't want that done. Keep the 100, and if you want, send me back 45. I don't want you on the case anymore, because I know that I'm not insane, and my mother and I would have been out on the street in 3 states. We didn't like the loss of the single-family attached dwelling. It's done. It cannot be redone. I'm in the present. I want this apartment. I believe in being here, and that is where this is at. I don't know who called you. How did you end up in the picture? That is how I felt it at a point in time in that bank. I did not believe her. My mother was very hurt by what took place within the south end of Hartford and where she grew up, Colts Park. Rita and Henry, the situation when Rita was dying, should not have hurt her that deeply, where Henry wouldn't allow her to speak to Rita. She grew up with her. That hurt her terribly. Cooney was the son of somebody she went to grammar school with. Cooney's father hurt her terribly. I would not have listed that. I had to build a resume all over again after the bank situation, and that merger took place. It was a mess for me. Now, I owe nobody an apology. I left it with funeral homes. What I should be apologized regarding, if there was any truth, was I was never invited to funerals. I'd have been at funerals for some of those people. Even Eileen Nealon in Massachusetts. Her mother was a lady, and I never knew what the situation was on that. I was completely eliminated from funerals. I sat here a long time ago. Nobody even called me when there were deaths. And I don't know what went on so that took place. Now, I know that I believed in Peter Vanny. That should have been resolved then. They took the phone booths out. Nobody was in the lunchroom when I went to an illegal department. My mother had a flashback one more time to check it out herself. When she came here and upset about Melanie not seeing us, speaking to us, I went backwards in time for her. We'd already lost the house. And I'm telling you, the phone booths were even taken out where I used to ask Mom how the kids were. Was worried about her at that point in time. It was not her normal style. Woodgate was pretty much all right. And then when that single family attached dwelling took place, I went to hell on what the heck was going on wrong. What was going on? And we loved the place. Now, I lost that place, and there's no doing that again. My mother, fortunately, was able to get the funds, and she tried to leave me some money at her death. God rest her soul. And that's the miss. Now, the last situation is, I live in this apartment, and I don't care what anybody does at night, and in their social lives. That is their business. That business has been around since at least World War II and probably earlier. The hooking and call girl industry. I'm not involved with that, and I don't want anybody sending me any female hookers, or any male gigolos for that matter, in that fashion. I don't wish that to go on. If there's any confusion, I am not involved with that situation at all, and I wish it to be that way. That is all I can say on this subject matter. That is messed up also. That, and I do not like voyeuring of my sex life. That is not something that I would allow in a household, and it never went on, period, even in my marriage. The first marriage, there was no involvement since 1980 other than visitation rights. That is all there was. Now, the second marriage should have never taken place. Justice of the peace, not even blessed in the church, either one, Protestant or Catholic. That should be a closing point on that. I wish not to be involved with that time. Really keep the 100 for any effort, whatever you call it. If you don't mind, send me back 15. Thank you. This is Pat Podraza. I am going to tell you, I don't want any threatening from you at all. I knew what went on at that bank, and you're ill-connected with that stinking, rotten situation way back, Claire and all of that. And here, I am no schizoaffective, and they're not even mateable males. And I am not going to say they're mateable when you say they're mateable. Some of them are drug lord types. They can't even speak English. They slug around and don't work. They're lazy loafers. I am not that, and I don't come from it. They're not mateable material. There are some wealth that could have been. They're not mateable material. And that is all there's to it. I go to a movie theater. I have some culture, and they're not mateable. I should have been over them and counseling them. And that is where this is at. You don't ever call me schizoaffective. Who called you anyway? I didn't. Oh, I never called you. And I don't like what went on concerning my mother, either in Connecticut. And I don't feel for it in Massachusetts. They're loaded, and they do what they want. And it is some sex ring or something. I don't believe in the hooking industry. They are in here. They run their lives. They do what they want. There's one lesbian that I don't have a problem with because she was at least a help. Why do you think I should laud that? Why do you think I should laud waitresses who make fun of me? They do it because they say I'm insane. They're ignorant. And that's what it is, or they're covering up for their own lives that they don't want anybody to know about. What do you play me for? A fool? I'm not schizoaffective. I was set up. And that is where this is at. Grow up. I don't even like how they raise their children. You were raised wrong? No, I was not. No, I don't like how the kids are harmed. They're crying. I was not over them, unfortunately. I could not counsel. How dare you label me that? What I would have told Connecticut off on what was taking place to my mother, there, I'm not even saying yes. I'm never saying yes in Massachusetts on something regarding that. I feel that is my field, you see. And trust banking was my field. And I'm all TD Bank, at least, is dealing with me. I have mails come in that are ignoramuses in there. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to listen to them. And that is where this is at. And females would do anything for them to have a male over their head. Well, I need a good male. I need a savvy male. And I don't want any determination. They are not made of material. That first one was an experiment. I'm not anybody's experiment in that field. You can go to McLean's who work on the brain, on those experiments, or whatever we're at. And I'm not going to tolerate it. Then label me that, but I'll take no medication because I've been scoffed at. And that boy is not to be scoffed at due to the likes of this region. And he doesn't know that. He's a good boy. And he was wronged by scumbags like Kathy and Arthur who don't know anything at all on that subject at all. But to lap up somebody, and I don't want a bisexual, and I'm telling you, I don't want a Nazi. Get your act together.